Всем хай! Мы играем в Noire. Обнаженный город.
5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
Ладно, get over there. Или get over here. Давайте-ка мы отсюда. Сдерись с ним уже. Да, кстати, знаете, что я могу сделать? Нет, не могу. Так, карта, журнал, сосистика. Вот это вот все. Костюмчики-то я не могу поменять, оказывается. Так. Поехали. Нас там тоже интересное всякое ожидает. Тут, кстати, тоже будет миссия с слежкой. Я как, блядь, ненавижу эту хуйню. Это просто какой-то ад.
Do you have any idea what is really going on while we're wasting our time following this stuff?
Are you going to tell me?
The deals being done right now will change the face of LA forever, and we're wasting our time on some hump.
Так, ну ладно.
Little girl.
Visit the morgue at the end of the month when the John and Jane Does are cremated. Their percentages. The odds for and against lightning striking.
Окей. Ну и дальше у нас веселуха начинается. Ладно. Значит, 6-й апартамент. Погоди-ка, вот тут у нас, по идее, что-то должно быть. Ага, сики. Вот чтобы не бегать туда-сюда. Мы сразу вот здесь посмотрим, да, здесь есть шприц.
Well, that's hardly conclusive, given the number of those things we've come across recently.
The autopsy will confirm it one way or another.
Ага. Давайте наверх. Уже понятно, что дело с наркотой связано. Oh.
You made homicide.
That I did. Good to see you, Phelps.
You two want a hug? Or can we get on with it?
Relax, Rusty.
26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
We heard Carruthers thinks...
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills. Falls asleep in the tub. Rest in peace. Case closed.
Here. Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Ну, так вот, значит, да? Ладно, пошли пошаримся по этим чудесным местам. Так, вот здесь вот есть пиджачок.
Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
Ага. Уже весело. Ой, еще веселее. Таблетосы валяются по всему полу. Ты смотри-ка, а. Точно? Барбитураты, ёпта. Ну все дело раскрыто, барбитурщица. О, еще веселее. Хуяк. Вот это дела. Бензидрин. Доктор Стоунман. Ну, с такой фамилией-то, конечно.
Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
Человек и камень. Ну, раз уж человек камень, то... Так. И, собственно, нам осталось только посмотреть вот на
We've had a look around.
фоточки и на колечечки.
What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our Vic?
May I took a look?
Be my guest.
Ты, главное, не целуйся с ней, а то был у нас один тут
Closer
уже.
look at her head and neck.
Опаньки.
Very unusual.
Колечко.
Could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire.
Вот так вот, значит, да. Ладно. Больше-то нам смотреть тут не на что. Так.
Pretty girl like that? Maybe she was
This
having
is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look.
couldn't take it anymore.
Так. А здесь? Вот здесь, по-моему, то, что нам надо.
Drifted
Been a
off.
modeling assignment.
I don't know.
Так вот, Херак. А тут что-то написано. Досен, бульвар Голливуд, 6582.
Drive.
Работаю во вторник с 11 до 4.
Sorry.
Составишь мне компанию.
Very clear.
Спроси мисс Рэндалл, Джулия.
It's a place to start.
Okay.
Ладненько. Будем думать.
She was so beautiful and so young.
Ага.
Can you leave me alone now?
Не понял сейчас. Ну, тут ничего нету. А здесь?
Beautiful girl. Clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog.
Ага. Вот вообще ничего нужного. С бабкой-то не дадут поговорить вообще. Что за прикол? Мне типа надо ее обсмотреть всю.
Bruising on the forearms, and these look like bite marks.
Very good.
Действительно, очень хорошо. Просто охуенно. Да, блядь! Господи, что такое-то? Здесь мы тоже все видели.
Neck is bruised pretty badly.
The eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
And spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It would make my theory.
And morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
Наркоту-то мы уже нашли.
I'm Detective Phelps. I'm
Whoa.
going to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynoldson, I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am. Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order. Mr. Henderson, maybe? What's his name? I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
No more than normal.
What are you hiding here, Mrs. Reynoldsson? Julia was obviously disturbed about something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Так. Тут у нас снотворное
She was
есть.
taking barbiturates. She couldn't sleep. You must have seen them in her room.
I've seen the pillbox, the things she hid in there. I don't know how she supported herself. Always new clothes and jewelry. She lived like a movie star. A princess. Does modeling really pay that well?
Does
Так.
Randall have many friends visit?
I'm not sure. I only come around twice a week.
Ну, конечно.
Why are you lying to me, Mrs. Reynoldsson? Julia had men stay here.
I will not speak ill of the dead. You can't prove that.
Блять, мертвый-то какой? Похуй разница. Блин, у бабки какие-то, блядь, проблемы с головой.
Tales you understand. That's Mr. Henderson.
Где мент пришел, спрашивает,
Very
блин.
distinguished looking. He seemed very much in love with me.
Девку бы уже точно не посадили, она уже сдохла.
I'm sorry. I don't know. He said he lives in San Francisco.
Окей.
What was it like working for Miss Randall?
Perfectly fine, officer.
Угу.
Mrs. Reynoldsson, it seems like there's something you want to tell me.
She was very high-strung. Lovely one moment and screaming at you the next. She wanted it all and she wanted it damn quick. Of course, being so beautiful, it seemed like she was going to get it. Not the way it's turned out, though, is it?
Thanks, Mrs. Reynoldsson. You've been very helpful. One of the other detectives will take your statement and then you can go home.
Так, ладно.
Done here.
Нам нужен телефон? Нет.
Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
Ага. Давай.
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm with Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle their dope.
Так, ладно. Главное, чтоб не сбили. Жопу себе повеликой. Так.
You can drive.
Давайте-ка мы к доктору сгоняем. А чё, он нам много чего интересного может рассказать.
Bukowski, Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted so fast you barely had time to learn their names. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life...
Ай, блин.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without coughing up his lunch.
Окей. Меня это не сильно парит, ну да ладно. Так, ладно. Это, конечно, все очень интересно. Так, поехали наверх.
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work.
Вот запомните это, то, что он, типа, надо, говорит, всех докторов попересажать. Это сыграет еще свою роль определенно. Не сказать, чтобы я спойлерить собрался, но...
Yes, sir, your name?
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Окей, пошли.
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
Так, интересно.
How well did you know Ms. Randall?
Barely at all. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
Ой,
Julia Randall has been your patient for nearly a year. I'm sure you know that.
Do you doubt my veracity, Detective? Do you have access to my patient records?
ну как бы тебе сказать-то, у нас есть рецепт.
Your prescriptions contradict you, Doctor.
Miss Randall was in the fashion business, as you probably know. She was jumped up on Benzedrine by day and knocked down by sleeping pills at night. I told her to slow up, but no. Life was too short for her.
And you supplied the prescription for the Benzedrine.
It's not illegal, Detective. A lot of young women in her line of work use it for weight loss.
Ну, допустим.
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
Ладно. Тут как бы хуй знает.
Addictive, as I'm sure you know, Doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch.
Так, ладно. Мы еще разберемся с этим делом. Нам надо в магаз сгонять. Ух ты, нифига ты, народу как поприбавилось-то. Ладно.
The old boy's lying.
About what?
I don't know.
Молодец. Он врет, но я хуй знает почему.
It's a strange reaction to have to the death.
Не, ну как бы да, то, что... Странно, что он радовался, что она сдохла, денег от нее не получит теперь.
All right, where to?
Поехали. Сейчас съездим в магаз.
Have you noticed how Croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
There are certain things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work. And it's only private when it suits them. A couple of drinks and every doctor I've met will spill your darkest secrets in a heartbeat.
Да вот не думаю, что прям с именами все выложит. Скажет просто типа, ну вот у пациента вот такого. Вот есть у меня пациент типа такой, не буду говорить какой. У него там геморрой, блядь, охуенный. А у этого, блядь, залупа раздулась на километр. Так, ну что, давайте поговорим.
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning.
Ух ты.
How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
Ну, может, ты и права.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses. The wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Окей.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, a wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to
I'm
me.
very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Ну давай, показывай.
That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you.
Thanks.
How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced through my fiance, Henry Arnett.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Okay.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
She's wearing a sapphire engagement ring. Someone must have given it to her.
She never mentioned a man named Henderson to me.
That's all for now, Miss
Ладно.
Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Вот какая, блин.
Julia Randall was found
По идее, тупая, как пробка должна быть.
What? Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. She was so full of life.
Не. Интересно.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Yes, Detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you. I can connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over.
Ладно, поехали. Но все равно туда надо.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Do we know where we're going?
Да, знаем, мы знаем, чё.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet.
Так, ну и что ты нам скажешь?
Isn't he the cop who won a medal in solving all the cases?
Так,
Cole, Roy, I have some information for you.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers. Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 syrettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening, Mal.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which could be from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death, Mal.
Maybe an hour or 2 after the Randall girl.
So you're saying Laughing Boy here could be one of our killers? That's a hell of a long shot.
Thanks, Mal. We'll check it out.
I found something else.
так, что там опять?
Sorry, I don't play.
I don't know if it's significant. His wallet was empty. The only other things he was carrying were the harmonica and the morphine.
Так,
Carruthers. Yeah, he's here. I'll send him over. They have a guy called Henry Arnett in interview 2 for you next door. Let me know how you get on.
Sure, Mal. And thanks for the lead.
ладно.
Mal, thanks for the lead.
Ай, блин. В напарнике такого мудака дали. Так. Интервьюшная. Он здесь, да?
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. Thanks for coming in.
Call me Henry. It's the least I could do. Terrible news about Julia.
Угу. Так.
How well did you know Julia Randall?
Vaguely. I'm in the clothing business, and Julia occasionally modeled for me.
He's asking whether you banged her in a chuck-on-the-shoulder fraternity kind of way.
I'm engaged to be married. It wouldn't be polite.
Answer the question.
Угу.
This will remain private. Heather won't have to know. Yes. We had relations.
Ладно.
Miss Randall's landlady said she was seeing an older man.
Could have been. I wasn't privy to all the details of Julia's private life.
Ну, конечно.
Henry, I don't like when people lie to me. She was seeing a man named Henderson. You know who I'm talking about.
Easy on, Detective. I may have heard of Henderson, but I don't know his full name. I think he's from New York or someplace back east.
Угу. Тут, знаешь ли, бабулька нам кое-что рассказала.
Julia told her cleaning lady that he lived in San Francisco.
Okay, you got me. I don't know where he's from. Julia wanted money. She always wanted money. She thought she could get something from this guy.
She was wearing a distinctive engagement ring. You think she might have convinced him to buy it for her?
Maybe he did, yeah. Maybe he and Julia were getting serious.
Ну, допустим.
Ever heard of a Jimmy LeBlanc?
No. Should I have? Is he an entertainer or something?
Ну, не
So you
знаю.
wouldn't have any reason to believe that LeBlanc would be involved in Julia Randall's murder?
If this guy is a criminal, he might have been involved. But like I said, I've never heard of this LeBlanc character.
Heather
Окей.
told us that you were in fashion?
That's right.
Так, понятно. Генри говорит Арнет, но... Ладно, хрен с тобой. С Генри.
Some kind of traveling salesman?
Once I got out of the Corps, I used my...
You were in the Marines?
Sure. I'm proud of it. The Fighting Sixth.
You were in the 6th Marines?
Yes. I was a captain.
Which company?
Various companies. We had a lot of casualties.
Which engagements?
Okinawa. A couple of other places.
That's all for now, Henry. You've been very helpful.
That son of a bitch was never in the Marines. Why'd you let him off the hook?
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl. Can you pass this on to Bukowski? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have them get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
Окей. Любопытная херня.
He's in that car at the lights.
Так, ну шо. Поехали теперь за этим говноедом.
He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? Actually, maybe you don't.
You got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile.
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
Я вот что могу сделать, если в меня въехали? Я понимаю, если бы я въехал в кого-то, но тут, блядь, мне в жопу прилетело. Давайте-ка мы сильно не будем к нему подъезжать. Блядь, парень, что-то встал. Что не можешь тоже так же объехать? Странно это. Но мне в целом как бы вот это вот все не очень-то нравится. Блять. А вот он, по-моему, уже прижался куда-то там. Я, может, конечно, ошибаюсь. Блять. Давай уже куда-нибудь едь, а. Господи. Как тяжело с тормозными дебилами-то, а. Он где-то здесь должен остановиться, по-моему. Окей. Не похуй ли тебе? Где он был, где он не был? Ага, вот он что-то сюда поперся, да? Сейчас будет самое сложное.
He needs money and fast.
Так.
Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him. See how he intends to spend the money. Move in. At risk losing the trail.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Да, блядь. Какой ты, сука, глазастый. Вот это вот меня выбешивает, блядь, нахуй просто. Зачем так делать? Я понял, блин.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him. See how he intends to spend the money. Too much slack. Gotta get closer.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Risk losing the trail.
Короче. Да что такое, а? А у бабы постоянно меняется одежда.
Needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him. See how he intends to spend the money. Too much slack. Gotta get closer.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Move in. At risk losing the trail. Too much slack. Gotta get closer. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Да, сука, заебал ты, блядь. Короче, в пизду. Вот мастер по слежению из меня никакой, потому что, ну, блядь, ну серьезно.
That's right, Mexico City. One-way ticket, please. Next available seat.
That would be 1 day from now. Is that okay?
It's going to have to be.
LAPD, the man who just came in here, he bought a ticket?
Yes, sir. To Mexico City, tomorrow night.
If you hear from him again, don't mention this conversation.
Так, окей, мы продолжаем веселиться.
He bought a ticket from Mexico City tomorrow night.
That's good, but this is better.
Чё? Ух ты.
It's Fabergé.
Какой Фаберже? Фаберже это только яйца.
I told him to hand it over. The guy who owned the joint thought it was worth at least 10 large for a cigarette case. Arnett only got 600 clams.
Окей. Дорогой Беверли с любовью. Так. Ну ладно, ладно.
Fine, where are we headed?
Сейчас посмотрим.
Car 11K, come in.
Go ahead, KGPL.
11K, go to Hollywood Station.
Да мы туда и едем.
Detectives Bukowski and Galloway have information relating to the Randall case.
Roger, KGPL. 11K, en route.
Car 11K, come in.
Да что такое?
Go ahead.
R9 reports the last arresting officer for DOA Jimmy LeBlanc was Patrolman Fred Wallace, who's working a shift on Hollywood 9th Beat, Sunset Boulevard between Jordan and Wilcox.
Car 11K, en route.
Так, ладно. Тут прям очень много всего. Прям даже не знаю, на что в первую очередь реагировать.
Sir, I need the contraband list. Items stolen over the last year.
Hang on, I'll dig out a copy for you.
Окей.
Here you go.
Сейчас посмотрим.
Is the cigarette case on there?
Hey, can you give me a hand?
Так.
I got a hard case I need to break.
Сигаретный кейс есть.
Arnett must be out of his mind trying to move this while under a murder cloud.
Julia Randall's ring. It's here.
Ага, это все херня. Тут, знаете, что еще есть? Короче, жемчужное кольцо.
Arnett is a cad. Seems Julia wasn't the first bored society girl to hide her bennies in that pillbox.
Ага. Ладно. Что там за Ивстром? Пошли разбираться с Ивстромом.
You can drive. Where are we going?
А мы сначала к патрульному съездим. Там тоже интересно. Хотя, конечно, делов у нас еще целое ведро.
Come on, let's give him a hand. Right behind you, Wallace. Detective Phelps.
Wallace, go left. I'm going right after this little prick in the alley.
Блять. Вот сучара, а? Ты чё мне мешаешься? Ладно. Да, блядь, какие вы шустрые пидорасы. Ладно. Слышь, а чё я по нему не попал? Так, остался, я так понимаю, последний, да? Что, убили, нет? Нихуя непонятно же.
Thanks. Outstanding warrant, armed robbery. Knocked over a drugstore back there, and it looks like he brought his whole posse with him. Bad luck for them.
They're all yours now. We need some information.
Ever heard of a burglar goes by the name of Jimmy LeBlanc?
Sure. We nabbed Jimmy on a burglary beef a couple of years back. They cut through a music shop and into a jewelry store. He got 4 years. I miss his partner, though.
His partner?
Big guy. I had him cornered, and he picked up this huge display case and threw it out a plate glass window. Then he vaulted out of there like something out of Barnum and Bailey.
Got away.
I would have had him, except for LeBlanc yelling, "Run for it, Willie!"
Okay.
You think he was an acrobat of some sort?
More like a strongman, a wrestler, or a boxer, that kind of thing.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Окей.
You haven't done too badly yourself.
Ладно.
You're behind the wheel.
Мне что, Уилли, что Уилли? Поехали-ка мы. Собственно, в той, которую обокрали, а потом обосрали.
A strong man held down Randall while someone administered the morphine. Someone with muscle opened up LeBlanc's skull. Could be.
Вот да. А может быть и нет. А может быть, пошел ты нахер.
Nice house.
LAPD, ma'am. Is Mrs. Eavestrom in?
She is. Would you follow me, sir?
Thanks.
I am Mrs. Eavestrom. How may I help you?
We appear to have recovered some stolen goods that belong to you, ma'am.
Yes, of course. That terrible burglary. Would you like something to drink?
No, thank you, ma'am. We have some questions, if you don't mind.
Why would I mind, young man, if you are returning 43 pieces of my property?
Okay, before we get down to that, I'll have a scotch. Thanks, straight up.
Maria, can you get the detective a drink, please?
Так, вот мы сейчас еще с бабкой разговаривать будем. Что бабка расскажет?
Can you describe to us what was stolen?
It would be easier to describe what wasn't stolen, detective. A priceless tiara that has been in the family for 50 years. A Fabergé cigarette case that was worth $25,000.
Ой, пиздишь, бабуля.
Are you lying about the value of your jewelry, Mrs. Eavestrom?
Who do you think you are, making heinous accusations in my own home?
Ой, бабуля. Вот головой не думаешь от слова совсем.
The cigarette case from a pawnbroker. No one knows the real value of an item better than those guys.
I inflated its value for the insurance claim. There. Are you satisfied? My daughter's boyfriend was quite taken with the case. I think he was even more disappointed than I was when it was stolen.
Тем более, что это он его испиздил.
What can you tell us about the burglary?
Я вам объясню потом, ну, как объясню, сами увидите, почему именно бойфренд ее дочери. Ну ладно.
Were you in the house when the burglary took place?
Good heavens, no. I was at a social function held by a Dr. Harold Stoneman and his lovely wife.
Ой, ну понятно.
And all of my things were missing.
That's about it for now, Mrs. Eastrom. The department will get in touch and let you know how you can recover your valuables.
You have only mentioned a few of the items that have been stolen, Detective. What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps? That's why you get the drinks in early.
Hello, Mother. Hello, detectives. What is going on?
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work. Oh, mother and father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Well, what did you find?
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is. I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out.
Ладно, сейчас съездим. Так, только мы давай это поменяемся. А чё это он не может? Ну чё, охуел? Ой, блядь, сейчас будет самая веселая, блядь, поездка, нахуй. Это просто пиздейшн. Да нет, это не просто пиздейшн, это настоящий ад говна.
That's my fiance you're making scurrilous accusations about.
Да, конечно.
Randall is obviously his partner.
But neither of them are the type to creep apartments.
You're being ridiculous. Both of you. There's a very good explanation for all of this.
Put a sock in it, sister. You're being played for a pat.
Так, подожди. Мы куда выехали? Это мы, кстати, грамотно выехали. Это нам как раз надо... Как раз надо пиздовать по вот этой дороге из желтого кирпича до самого, понимаете ли, морковкиного заговения, как некоторые выражаются. Мне больше нравится вариант до морковкиной задницы. Это как-то более любопытно. Морковки на заднице на самом деле не так уж и далеко от морковки. От морковкиной передницы. Так, ребят, ну вы можете как-то трафик свой успокоить? Так. Ядрить, колотить. Ну, что ты творишь? Так, я хоть туда еду, нет? Да, туда. Именно туда, куда надо, я и еду. Только надо быть прям вот очень внимательным. Мы сейчас доедем до поворота. А там, как говорил широкоректный, до первого поворота и нахуй. Вот туда мы и поедем. Ну, видали? Чего вы тут ходите? Кто вам разрешал тут ходить? Так. Товарищи менты, товарищи кенты и все прочие. Да. Ездить надо аккуратнее. Говорю, вот поэтому мне за руль... блядь, нихуя себе. Поэтому мне за руль не надо, потому что я буду ездить вот примерно так же. Типа, блядь, быстрее, быстрее. Съебите нахуй с дороги, пидорас. И все прочее. Так. Бабёха-то, наверное, страху натерпелась за время. Да, блядь. Да дайте вы мне отъехать уже отсюда, а? Потому что, блядь. Да уйди ты нахуй с дороги. Это еще что-то сидит, подпёздывает. Да, я, конечно, грамотно зарулил. Ну ладно. Да, это нам, короче, куда-то сюда надо. Да вы достали, блядь. Наконец-то. Вот я дольше ехал, блин, чем сейчас сюжетка будет. Серьезно, зачем? Не повредив автомобиль? Блять, ребят, что не так с этой ачивкой? Я же это... Ну вы поняли.
I'm sorry, are you a resident?
Я президент, а не резидент.
LAPD detectives. We're here to speak to Henry Arnett.
Oh, Mr. Arnett? Apartment 30. You can take the lift.
Thank you.
На Киевшке замечательно. Поехали на лифте. Поехали на лифте.
Well, isn't this just nice and awkward?
Че там такое? Тут там пыхтит, пердит. Он все, отпыхтелся уже. Ты смотри-ка. Так, что, давайте наверх. Надо за ним еще бегать и бегать. Ой, блядь, как мне эти канатоходческие изъебства надоели. Ты дурак или как? Ну ладно, он хотя бы сильно далеко от нас не убегает. О, ну все. На уж. А вот это мы хорошенько посидели.
Looks like he got you good, Phelps. Yeah, he really packs a wallop. How'd I get back here?
Under your own steam, miraculously. You came in through the window, said hello, and then keeled over.
How was Arnett?
He's coming around, too. He's all hopped up. Good time to get some answers.
Missing something, Henry?
Так, ща мы кое-что найдем. Ага, часики. Да блин.
Vacheron Constantine. That's an extremely expensive watch, Henry. A graduation present from my parents.
Ага. Подарочек, значит, на. Пидарочек. Сейчас мы пообщаемся.
You and Randall and LeBlanc and Willie doing the legwork.
I'm in the fashion business.
Так, конечно. Фэшн, блядь, из ее про фэшн. Посмотрите на его ебальник. Так, ну знаете что? Говоришь ты все.
You're lying, Henry.
How can you prove that I'm involved, detective?
Ну, кое-что есть. Кое-что у нас есть. Портсигар.
Because
says you pawned a Fabergé cigarette case today for $600. A case that is on a list of stolen items.
It was Julia's idea. Get a list
Да,
of society
конечно.
parties.
Очень удобно все на мертвую бабу свалить.
And then have the guests burgle. Julia was desperate for money. No matter how much we made, she always wanted more.
Так, вот значит, да?
LeBlanc killed Julia Randall.
I wanted to stop, to get out of that life. I was going to marry Heather if she'd have it. Julia told the others that
Ой, охуевает баба рядом. Ой,
she was
охуевает.
going to create a new gang.
Все равно врешь.
Arnett, I think you ordered them to kill her. It was made to look like suicide, and when the coroner saw through that, you knew it was time to run.
I told you I was involved in the burglaries. I had nothing to do with Julia's death. Why would I need to run?
Ну, знаешь ли. То у нас есть билетик на поезд.
Have you told Miss Swanson that you're leaving for Mexico City tomorrow night? That it's a one-way ticket?
Henry? Tell me it isn't true.
I had no choice. I wanted to marry Heather. I told Julia I wanted out, and she laughed in my face. I had to pay Willie and Jimmy a fortune to do her, and now I'm completely broke.
What you are, Buster, is under arrest.
Вот как бы да. Гениальный парень.
And what is his involvement?
Tell them what you know, Henry. I'll stand by you if you'll only tell the truth.
There is no Henderson.
Ай.
Tell me about your first burglary, and don't lie.
I can't remember. I don't keep a list of these things.
Ой, блин. Вот у нас есть список краденого, так что ты, парень, вообще в жопе по уши.
Your first burglary was a Dr. Harold Stoneman. You want to explain how he is involved, or shall I?
Henderson is Stoneman. He was crazy about Julia. She could get him to do whatever she wished. He threw the parties, and we arranged the burglaries. Julia never let him touch her. She just kept him hanging on the promise. Drove the good doctor almost insane.
Henry Arnett,
Okay.
you are under arrest for burglary and for the murder of Julia Randall.
Henderson is Stoneman, all right? I'm not the guy you want. Go talk to the good doctor.
Oh, we will, knucklehead. Meanwhile, we're fitting you for convict stripes.
Да, парень, ты пока посидишь, отдыхаешь. Сколько всяких интересных ребят отдыхать поехало. Ладно.
Can you drive to this one? Do we know where we're going?
Сейчас еще к доктору заглянем. Вот его сейчас чуть не избили.
He only robbed her mother and killed her best friend. Cut the guy some slack.
So how does the doctor fit in?
That's what we're about to find out. Maybe we should ask him to give you a quick once-over. That meathead gave you one hell of a pasting.
I've had worse.
You should have seen yourself staggering back in there like a drunken sailor.
Next time you can take the runner, boy.
I didn't box in the Marines, though, did I?
Should have never told you that.
Ну, не надо было, да. Нахрена ты ему это рассказал? Мудила тот еще. Так. Ладно. Поехали. В смысле, пошли. В смысле, поговорим с доктором. У нас помимо доктора еще ожидаются веселые мероприятия.
Time for the doctor to give us something to make this all better.
Но если бы так было все просто. Прям офисное помещение, смотрю.
Hang on a moment, sister. Tell him it's Henry Arnett. And tell him it's urgent.
I can't do that.
Or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice.
Сидеть-то никому не охота.
I'm afraid Mr. Arnett is here to see you, and he says it's urgent.
Send him in.
Лол. Вот сейчас прикольно-то будет.
Never to come. Tell us the truth, doctor.
Упс.
I'm so glad you came. Prison will be better than insanity, and I'm already half insane with grief.
Он выглядит как Путин.
Do you know that I loved her? I ruined my life for her, and yet I still love her.
Will you testify in court that Arnett and Randall did these robberies?
They organized the robberies. Julie would get the names of the guests attending my wife's parties. Didn't matter how much money I showered upon her, it was never enough. She never really cared for me.
Doctor, I'm afraid you're under arrest.
Такие дела.
The practice. You'll call Dr. Gerard. No. Please don't cry. I want to see no one. Not my wife or my children, nor my friends. And I don't want a lawyer. Just lock me up and throw away the key.
Угу. Ключ ему выбросить. Он тоже вместе с ключом выбросился. А почему шина там в пустоте висит? Как-то это все странно выглядит. Ладно.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
I need an ambulance and the coroner immediately to the offices of Dr. Harold Stoneman, 1646 Ivor Street, Hollywood.
En route, Detective. You have a message. Detective Bukowski says the suspect is named Wilson Willie the Wolf Reed, former wrestler. Last known address is an apartment building at the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Detective Bukowski says to meet them there.
On our way.
Окей.
We have an address for the runner.
Let's try and wrap this up then.
Ладно, поперлись отсюда. Вроде на этом мы сейчас и закончим.
That old boy really fell for that broad. She was incredibly beautiful.
Would you throw it all away for a woman?
Да мало ли. Смотря какая баба.
You're quite the romantic, Phelps. Stick with the percentages. Broken hearts are for chumps.
You're talking from experience.
I certainly am. Oh, I like women as much as the next guy. As long as they're in their place and doing what they're told.
Так, а что там за Уилли такой? Поехали к нему. Так, Бродвей, Голливуд. Сейчас мы тебе и Бродвей, и Голливуд покажем.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this. The kids around here say he plays the harmonica.
Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this out of the street.
Окей. Прям раскомандовался, смотри-ка.
A harmonica playing wrestler. That's a weird one. Think he knits as well?
Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. I don't want him to bolt on us.
Так, ну смотри-ка, а.
Wilson Reed, LAPD, give yourself up.
Так вот, значит, да. Ты смотри-ка. Ладно, полезем наверх. Прям как ниндзя. Не черепашки, но ниндзя точно. Так. Что нам еще выше? Ну да, походу. Ох, блин. Не сказал бы, что меня это радует. Но, в принципе, не особо огорчает. Так, и что ты хочешь? Че еще выше? Да ну нахер. А зачем? Ты смотри-ка.
He's got to be around here somewhere. No place to go unless he grew wings. There he is. Waste the son of a bitch.
Все. Отдохнуть полежал.
Son of a bitch really picked a spot for it up here, didn't he?
Nah.
Randall's folks are flying in from New York tomorrow to claim the body. I saw her on the slab. So perfect. Looked like she was made of porcelain. She really made an impression on me.
Well, you had that impact on a lot of men.
Christ, it's cold. You guys did good work here today. Roy, I think you should buy your brother officers a drink.
Do you now? That's very generous of you, Lieutenant.
Лол. Так. Ну и что у нас там? Прям правильно все сделали. Джулия Рэндалл вела бурную жизнь, умерла молодой, отправив одного человека в тюрьму, а троих в морг. Заебись. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. Всем пока.